Greetings, YFC family. Mike here. I had an opportunity to discuss the COVID-19 panic with Dave Brereton, our international director. And with all the travel that we do as a YFC family, with all the countries we get to visit, with all the mission work that each one of you do, traveling to and fro, through airports, big gatherings, we realize that there is a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and a whole bunch of panic. And in scheduling out events and talking logistics with Dave, I find myself communicating with him a lot and asking him his perspective on a lot of things. And more, he keeps pointing me back to the Bible. So I said, all right, Dave, let's just put it on film and share it. The panic and fear is real, but so is the truth of the gospel. And I hope you enjoy this video.
COVID-19. It's affecting all of us. What are we doing? What's the right thing to do? What does the Bible say about it? Come on, the Bible doesn't say anything about COVID-19. Well, let me read to you a few verses from 1 John chapter 4, and then let's talk about it for a minute. In 1 John chapter 4 and verse 15, it says, "If anyone acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in him, and he in God. And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in him. In this way, love is made complete among us, so that we will have confidence on the day of judgment, because in this world we are like him. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love." We know there's lots of verses in Scripture that talk about wisdom and how God promises wisdom to us if we ask him. And we need wisdom to know how to navigate during this time. But there is also another aspect to this, which is fear. And as Christians, as those that know and follow Jesus, we trust in God's love. We know that in fact he is love. But in this 16th verse it says, "And so we know and rely on the love God has for us." So the challenge for us, I think, during this time is, do we really rely on God's love for us? And does that give us the peace that God promises? Now here's an interesting thing. It talks about fear, and that fear has to do with judgment. And we're a funny bunch as Christians, because it seems to me we calmly and serenely trust in God in terms of our eternal destiny. And yet when it comes to the day-to-day, and what's going to happen with COVID-19 and me and my family, all of a sudden, we're not so sure. Does God really care? Is he really here? Does he really understand? You and I know he does. So let's be those today as we journey, as we communicate with our family, as we lead, as we make choices and decisions. Let's remember that we know and rely on the love God has for us, and that perfect love casts out fear. God bless.